Cummins. He was,
Yeah,
you could see just through his celebration that there was a more, uh, every wicket that was taken, he was more aggressive in his celebration, not in a lose control extent, but you could just see that um, it clearly they'd been stung by a bit of the criticism around after their performance, and they internally would have been so disappointed with the way they played in Perth. So it showed you what it means to them, and that they knew that they were back at the level that they want to play their cricket. So he was outstanding. He looked like the if there needed to be a bit of a grease and oil change after Perth and a tune-up, he was purring by the end of it. So that was terrific to watch. And they were just a unit. The three bowlers, Nathan Lyon only the one over, and Mitch four. Other than that, the big three, Stark, Bowen, Cummins, were just hunting as a pack and bowled as a unit. So that was really, really fun to watch. Yeah, even just in his defence, simple things. It's pretty specific, but simple things when you defend, if you're sort of immediately looking to size up whether there's a single on offer or not. It's I might be wrong, but in Perth, it seemed he was just so focused on being rock solid in defence that you lose the intent in that action, and you might then miss an opportunity to pinch a quick single and get yourself off strike and not get bogged down. So everything about he did was really positive and looked really like it had the right intent. So, and yeah, he's a determined young man, and he's been as frustrated as anyone about his lack of results. So I'm sure it felt good. He would have been extremely disappointed to give up his wicket the way he did in the end, in what turned out to be a reasonably soft manner. But the fact that he spent so much time out the crease and started to accumulate runs and had that really important partnership with McSweeney, that I think has set Marnus back on the right track. Now it's his job to try and replicate that over and over. I think Nathan McSweeney hit a square cut that tied the scores, I think. And I reckon of all the deliveries he's faced, of which there's not many in his short test career, that would have probably been his most special memory, perhaps. It just, uh, extended the arms, opened the shoulders, and just belted it. It was a pretty rank delivery, but he absolutely creamed it. And there was about 30,000 people in yesterday. So for him to have that feeling and that appreciation of a crowd, uh, that'll help fuel him going forward. There's no doubt. I bet he's so eager to get out in the middle again and try to replicate that feeling. And he'll be well supported up at the Gabba, because that is his home, his true home state. And I think that they'll, having discarded him or said he's surplus to requirements, all of a sudden he'll be a Queenslander again. So he's playing up there. And yeah, it was all round sort of perfect game, really. Save Steve Smith, he'll be frustrated with that, but he'll keep working hard. And not every player in every team fires all at once. So the fact that Marnus has now stepped up, that creates opportunity in the next game for Mitch Marsh or Steve Smith, who missed out in the last game. If that's his eighth man of the match, I gather he's got one every time he scored 100, because being his eighth ton. So that there in itself shows you just how much of an impact he has. It's okay to get the 100, but how effective was it in setting up a victory for your team? Mitchell Stark could very easily have claimed man of the match honours there in that game. Particularly, he set the tempo right from the very first ball. But yeah, I think Trav's innings did swing the game, too much in Australia's advantage. So that's the sort of impact. That's what you hope to do. You hope to contribute significantly to team victories, and it's just great fun to watch. It had been a little bit of a barren spell for him in Test match cricket, not to the point of being concerned that he's going to be left out, but a lot of that was covered up through white ball dynamics. He's a great all format player, but I think with Travis Head, that's just and the Australian hierarchy know this and appreciate this. You're just going to have to ride the highs and the lows with him. And when the highs are high, they have impact and win test matches. So that's which side of the bargain you want to sit on in that negotiation. Yeah, no, I think he's a bowler that likes to be in the contest and psychologically get himself into a place where he thinks he's in a bit of a dogfight, a bit of a scrap with the opposition player. He carried that sort of role and mantle in Perth and did it brilliantly without going anywhere near crossing any line or getting himself in under the attention of the match referee. I think what really sent it over the edge. Again, it wasn't outrageous what happened. Let's be honest. It's not the best image, but it's not the worst.
Yeah.
I think the fact that he dropped Travis Head on 76 and probably every run after that, he knew that was the game slipping away from them. So to then get Travis out on 140, I mean, Siraj would know that Travis had won that battle. So that was just all, I think, frustration coming out more than anything. And Travis said he's disappointed with his own reaction, but I think it's an emotional game and the temperature's up. I don't really see too much about any of it. They've copped a slap from the match referee, I think, but everyone will move on. Yeah, that's the nature of the beast. I would expect if Hazelwood's fit, they'll go back to Hazelwood, particularly at the Gabba. I think, that's conditions that'll suit him. I mean, either way you go, you're going to get, exactly what you're going to get. And that's consistency and a batting order that, as an opposing batting order, that'll be under threat. So, timing's unfortunate for Scotty, but I just love the way he just steps up and it's like you're plugging in a ball machine that's got a setting on and it just cranks up again to the identical setting. So, and I love the way the crowd embrace him and broadcasters, and he's just a fascinating story. He's such a humble guy, but just going about his day at work, and he can electrify a nation and 50,000 people in a grandstand. So, but as far as the workload, clearly that works in Australia's favour. But the game moves so quickly. India didn't exactly have to bowl a mountain of overs either. And, looking at the two games, Australia has bowled more overs, but it's been a nice spread out now with that extended break between the first and second, and now an extra few days gives them near enough to a week to be ready to go. So that's just going to mean the intensity of battle is going to be high quality and continue deeper into the series. By the time we get to Sydney, the bowlers could still well be feeling reasonably not fresh, but certainly not running to the ground. So that augurs well for the series.